So today we're talking about turning your passion into a profession. So it's a question I've been asked very frequently, and it's just something I thought we should talk about. So yeah, let's talk about that. So I am Phumelele Gunene. I am a photographer. I am a design and fine art photographer, and I've been taking pictures professionally for the past 9 years. But I've always been a lover of photography at heart from when I was really, really young. So how did I get into it as a profession? Um, it all started when it was after high school when I had to decide what I'm doing with my life exactly. And yeah, I had decided I really like photography. So I had planned on photography being something that I'll do on the side. But then when I actually had to decide career paths, I was caught in between two worlds. I had to decide what to do, and when I sat down and I spoke to my cousin about it, I was like, I think I'll choose something else, and then I'll do photography as something on the side, as something that I love doing. And then she was like, but you love doing that, so why don't you just do what you love doing instead of making it a side thing? So I was like, yeah, actually that's so me. So I decided that, you know what, I'll just stick to the arts, and I've been doing that ever since. It's very challenging. So I think when you are an artist, and I think being an artist and being a business person are two completely different ball games. So doing what you love, you firstly taking your hobbies and turning them into a profession. It complicates things in such a sense that you end up start doing it for the love of it. It can drain the love out of it because now you start doing other people's work, and usually when you love something, it's all about doing your kind of work. um, it's all about what satisfies you. And when you decide to take this thing like photography as a profession, then um, it kind of drains the love that you'll have for it, because you are doing other people's work, and you have to do all these other things because now you're speaking money, you're speaking all these things. So they kind of just let the passion slide a bit back a bit. So yeah, although it's quite nice to have a job where I love what I'm doing, have a job where I get to take pictures for a living, and people get to pay me for that. But sometimes you just get so caught up doing other people's work and doing it so much for clients and for money that you just stop doing any personal work, and you stop doing like the reason why you were in love with it in the first place kind of like falls back. So yeah, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with if you are that person that has a full-time job that's completely separate from your passions. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either, although I particularly wouldn't do it. But I've got to find over the years that there's also nothing wrong with that, because then your hobbies stay as your hobbies. You still do them, and there's no rules, there's no doing things for money. It's still very, very, it gets to still be very, very purely authentic. Where else when you turn it into a profession, things kind of like there's a thin line there that gets blurred. So yeah, I think it also depends on how you work around it, the type of person that you are, what kind of things do you like taking pictures of. But I found it very satisfactory turning my passion into a profession. It's allowed me to integrate photography into every aspect of my life. Therefore, I never really have to stop doing it. And the reason why I love photography so much is that even though I've turned it into a profession, I don't always need a reason to work to be a photographer. Like nothing could be happening career-wise, but I can still continue doing what I do. And so apart from making work for other people, or I still get to do my own work and still sell my own work. So there's different like ways to still keep it professional but keep it very artsy. So I think I don't know if there's like a full-on answer that I'd give whether you should turn your profession into a passion into a profession. It really has its pros and cons, like everything else. And turning your passion into a job also, it doesn't mean you stop dreading going to work, because like I'm saying, when you get to do other people's work, then that's the kind of stuff that will make you dread going to work and all those things. So just because you've turned it into career doesn't mean, just because you've turned your passion into a career doesn't mean you won't have days where you don't want to go to work. And as well, I find that you always just end up picking up your camera solely for work reasons. You do it so much for work that by the time you have any personal reasons, you really just want to take time off from work. So then you don't want to do it for personal reasons anymore. So yeah, because I've had a good few years where I've solely worked on work that I've done for clients and nothing personal, nothing. I haven't created like a personal project or body of work for years because I'm just too preoccupied with the business side of things. So and the other side is also like, it's very authentic, it's very artistic, it allows me to express myself, it allows me a whole lot more freedom. So I find that part that liberates me more in photography, because I've turned it into a profession, I get less of that liberating effect on it. But because I really love what I'm doing, I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. So it's not just this picture perfect idea, you know what I mean? There's still pros and cons to it. So ultimately, I'd say really think hard about it, and what's the end goal. If you really just like, if this is really just a hobby for you and you just want to keep it authentic, maybe sometimes turning it into a career isn't really the best decision. You could have a career in something else and still be a photographer, but as well you can still just solely focus on that and be an artist, and also just run a business out of your art and your talent. I think it could work either way. It really does depends on what's going on in your life, how you can work around that, and what the end goal is. What do you really want to keep doing for a very long time, and also just loving what you're doing really doesn't feel like work most of the time. So I find that's very, very true. So people that say that, for me, I found that that's like a very truthful statement, that I hardly feel like, I have moments where I dread doing things purely because maybe it's projects that aren't mine and other people's work, but I still love doing it because I'm still getting to take pictures, I'm still getting to take videos. So it might not necessarily be something that will be mine to keep, but the fact that I can give it to someone else and have them appreciate it just does, it still satisfies me, it still makes me happy, and it's the reason why I will keep doing what I do. So yeah, that's my take on my experiences and how I view that, how I view this whole passion and profession aspect of life. So yeah, I hope it helped you if it needed to. Hope it inspired you if it needed to, or it just simply entertained you. I'm happy with any of those. So, and as well, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, and remember to hit the notification bell so you are aware every time I upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching till the end of this video, and continue watching more of my videos that I will be dropping very soon. Thank you so much for joining me on this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.